A Hemi swap 1 week before Moparty? Seems like a good idea to me. So far on this project, since it's arrived a couple days ago, what we've done is we've done some preliminary work. We've pulled the latch support out, getting ready to mount the condenser. We fabbed up some brackets to hold the condenser onto the radiator cross member and make it look as though it really belongs in there. Now, one piece of advice that I would love to give all you guys doing Hemi swaps, whether it's on a classic B body, E body, A body, or any vehicle that they have aftermarket AC support, is to use the aftermarket to make this a very clean and easy process. So uh, our owner brought us a universal kit from a vendor, and it's fine. It fits the opening really well, and we're able to make it look very clean, but it does add a little bit of work. With this setup, we're using a aftermarket condenser and hoses going back, but everything inside the car is OE factory for 1970. So you're talking about your evaporator, your controls, your blower motor, all that stuff is factory tied into an aftermarket condenser and a factory 2011 through say 2013 AC compressor. That's it. Very simple to bolt it all together, but it does require fabrication work because of this universal condenser. What I recommend is, even if you're using the factory AC box and all the components under the dash, I would recommend going to someone like a Cold Air, an Auto Air, um, Vintage Air, one of those manufacturers that has a kit for this car, and get their condenser with their bolt-in brackets so that it is just a straight bolt-in process. You don't have to fabricate anything. You can buy just their condenser kit that comes with the condenser, the mounts, the dryer, and the hard lines to go from the dryer to the number 6 port on the condenser. Do that. It's going to save you a ton of time. It's going to look good, and it's going to work really well. Whether you have a vintage air or if you have a factory air conditioned system, it's going to be fine, and it's going to save you a ton of time. So one of the most exciting things for me on this build is that we're able to debut our new EXT extended length engine wiring harness. This thing makes it clean, simple, and enables you to do a few more tricks that the original wiring harness just doesn't do. So here I have close to me is the original engine harness that was on the car when it got here. Nothing fancy, it's just a factory engine harness with a few things that we really didn't care for. One is the bulky battery connections that are integrated into this harness, making it harder to pull through the car and place where you need it when you're doing an installation. They have the integrated transmission connector, a few things that just, it's messy. That's the best way to say it. It's a little bit messy, and it limits you on the placement of your body control module integrations, your body connector integrations, and your ECM placement. So you pretty much can only put the ECM in the engine compartment, or maybe tightly barely place it on the back side of the firewall under the dash. Maybe. Um, Not bad if you're not going for a show car and you just really want to keep things low buck. This is fine. It works just fine. Aesthetically, it's just not as nice. The EXT, however, is a lot leaner. It has some of those nuances pulled out of the harness. It also has OEM style connectors, same quality, same connectivity as an OE harness, but just cleaner. It's nicer. The addition of 2 extra feet of length on the ECM and the body connection really help you place that ECM and the body side of this harness, if you will, so the fuse box, the power distribution side. All of that stuff can go in the car, get it out of your engine compartment, and just make it look clean. It's a lot nicer, easier to deal with. Really excited about this. You're going to see this in the car at Moparty. You're going to see where we hide everything and tuck it away and just make it just a better installation process, really. That's why I'm excited about this harness. So, as I was installing the engine harness, I came into a situation that I thought I would mention, and that is sensors. Things change over time, but the engine really hasn't. So, don't freak out if you run into a sensor that's not quite the same as one that you have on maybe your harness or the harness that you get from wherever it has come from. This is the oil pressure sending unit, the oil pressure sensor from this engine, which I believe is a 2019. And you can see it's a pretty small connector, but it's still a 3-pin connector that's on the back side here. The shape and size is very similar to the camshaft position sensor and the crankshaft position sensor. It's pretty unique, small, compact, no big deal, right? For the EXT harness that we have here, we use a very common oil pressure sensor that was used widely throughout the years. And I have the three here we're going to talk about. So this is the more late model, think towards the end of the era for the Chargers and the Challengers. This is kind of middle of the road, if you will. And this is the one that we use with the XT run harness. It's one of the most frequently used. It's part number 682955556 Alpha Alpha. And let me show you the difference in these two. While they look very similar, the only true difference is the keyway on the top of the oil pressure sending units, the sensors. You notice this has the key sticking up from the outer edge on both sides straight up, and this is key position A, or alpha. This one has the right side of the connector sticking straight up from this edge, whereas the left side is not on the edge, it's kind of indented over, let's say, just a few millimeters. So the keyway is different, but overall, it's pretty much the same. They perform the same function. If you were in a pinch, really what you could do is just cut the keyway off of one or the other, and it would slide right in and it would still function. Not a huge deal. We're going to go ahead and put this new sensor in this engine and go about our day like nothing ever happened. Like and subscribe if it helps you. If you've learned anything, that's our goal. I mean, we're not professional YouTubers looking to, get a million views and likes. We just want to share information. And if we're teaching you, if you're learning anything from our videos, that's all we could ask for. So stick around. We'll see you on the next one. Bye.